Welcome to Faith Channel, nurturing, learning, and hearing.
Welcome to another episode of Your Faith Journeys. I'm your host, Curtis Watkins, and today we're honored to have Beverly F. Smith with us. Beverly is a native of Washington, D.C., and the founder of an inspiring organization dedicated to giving back to her community. Beverly, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Okay. All right. I like energy. So we're gonna feed off each other today. I had a chance to see Beverly in action at a recent Black History program in Southeast DC. And she brought so much energy to the stage that I felt sorry for the MC somewhat because she was like, okay, now I got to step up my game. So good move. I recognize, as they say, I recognize game when game happens.
Yes, it was a good time. So glad to have you there to see, and that's the thing is to support our youth, because our DC's youth got talent.
Yes, they sure do. Beverly,
Hmm.
your story is incredible, powerful to me. You grew up in southeast section of Washington, D.C., in a low income single parent home. Can you tell us a bit about what your experience was like for you?
Um, well, yeah, at the time, it was fun, growing up number 8 of 9 children. Um,
Ooh,
yeah, and I'm the baby girl, and so I have a younger brother. But it was in the '80s during the crack epidemic, and unfortunately, crack cocaine literally bust my front door down. My mom became addicted to crack cocaine. My sister and I we started selling drugs, selling crack, and at the age of 12, and it was fast money in that time. um everyone everyone in our community, I grew up on Hillside Road, Benton Road, Southeast. And so it was one of those things where if that you wasn't indulging in it or selling it, you was taking advantage of the money that was coming in. So but my mom, she definitely did the best that she could as a single mom. Showed a lot of love, unconditional love, and that's one of the things that I'm excited about through our community is the resilience. And so knowing that that was a coping mechanism for trauma that she had experienced. um, Mama Safe Haven is a nonprofit that started back then because my mom always opened her door to everyone. I can remember waking up and there'd be somebody, child at the foot of my bed, and there's a pallet on the floor of them in the living room. So it was wholesome at the same time. Like I said, back then I didn't understand what was going on, but now I do know that we are a resilient community.
yes, yes, I agree with you. It sounds like those early experiences were a profound impact on your life.
Mhm.
At the age of 16, you found yourself in a physical abusive relationship. And then by 19, you had 3 kids. And for real, you know, I'm transparent. So,
Yeah.
that's kids raising kids at the
Yeah.
age of 19. And I had a child early in my teen I'm gonna say I would say young adult, but I still was a teenager at that point when I had my first child. So I can relate to that.
Mhm.
What motivated you to pursue further education despite these challenges?
I would have to say that my love for education was something since I could talk. I can remember just love reading. It came easy for me. And I loved school. I was always on the honor roll, spelling bees, you name it, anything I
You
can
one of
say.
them good kids. You one of those good kids. I like that.
Listen, I got perfect attendance probably every year, So when it was award ceremony, I would always go up and get awards because I loved school. I was the teacher's pet, but I was also, the cool person too. So it was one of those things that I loved school. I like you said, I found myself in a domestic violence relationship. Um, and you know, at that time, I do want to give a shout out to Edward C. Mazik. I went to Cardoza High School, and there was a daycare in the basement of my school. So I was able to take my daughter to school with me my 11th grade year. And then I found myself pregnant my 12th grade year, and I walked across the stage with my two children in the audience, and then found myself pregnant the year after I graduated. As it relates to again that coping mechanism of just looking for love and just trying to fill those voids. And I actually just got off the phone with my oldest daughter who is a business owner. She has her own daycare center, and just super proud of her. But yeah, it was one of those things for me where I just give God the glory as it relates to those times. Um, my mom passed away 3 days after my 19th birthday. And so that was very tough to become, homeless and without a mom, and then with three children. So it was my faith in God at that time, which was another thing that actually kept me um, in good graces, that I've always saw myself being successful.
Yes, yes. That's such a courageous decision. Beverly, you turned your struggles into a mission to help others in your community. Can you tell us about the organization you founded?
Yes. So, one of the things I do want to mention before my organization, I wrote a book entitled "He Kept Me,"
Mm,
and it was actually really the catalyst for me to have the strength and the courage to come out and share my testimony in public, all of the things that I've been through. So one of the things for me with starting Mama Safe Haven really came after tragedy. I thought about that. A lot of things that happen in my life, that's when something, great happens. And so it was right around the time my sister Vanessa had passed away, 37. I lost her to an asthma attack. And 3 months later, my younger sister, Dee, at 29, she passed away from sugar. And it was really devastating for me, and my sister left six children. So that was around the time when the youth were my son. I had three girls and a boy, and my son started running and stealing cars and just getting into things that I did not condone. And at that time, I thought that it was important. This was back in 2007. I thought that it was important to galvanize the moms and let them know that we don't condone it, because my son will run from the law and he will be able to stay at these kids' moms' houses. And I'm thinking to myself, you're harboring, he will be, on the run, absconding unit looking for him. They'll come to my house looking for him. And I'm like, no, he's not here. But there will be, parents. I'll go to court, and his co-defendant parents will say, "Oh, these police is messing with my child." And no, my son sideswiped 10 cars. Ran a car into someone's living room, and just all kinds of different things that I did not condone. So Mama Safe Haven was really started out of the need. I will have to keep going back and forth to court. As a school teacher, with my education, I spent 20 years in a classroom. And so I would have to not go to work to go to court. And so it was one of those things where I say, we have to stand together. And so our first meeting, shout out to Miss Brenda Jones in Parkland Community Center. She was at the Art. Tendati Impabalusi was our keynote speaker. and we held a parent meeting down at the Ark. That was back in 2008. And
Wow.
so, yeah, but just to fast forward, we started our talent show. We were founded back then, it was called Sisters United, but we were founded in 2014 when I lost a third sister to a drug overdose, and she left 7 children. 5 of her children are very talented. And they were at my house and putting on a show for me. And I said, we need to do a talent show. And I went to Benton Park Recreational Center, my neighborhood recreational center, and Mr. Woody Ward was in there, and he said, "You want to do a talent show in here?" And I said, "Yes," and he gave us permission, and that's where Mama Safe Haven was started to give youth, that platform. Really, art therapy, healing through creative arts. My nieces and nephews and my whole family and the community is hurting. And so it's an opportunity for our youth to come together.
Yeah, do me a favor. Because you shared a book that you wrote. Where
Mhm.
can people get that book from? And can you display it again? Because you just did a
A quick
very quick.
flash. So my book is entitled "He Kept Me," and it is available on Amazon. You can go to Amazon.com. It's everywhere books are sold. You can go to Barnes and Noble and get it. But if you go to Amazon and pull up "He Kept Me," Beverly F. Smith.
That's truly inspiring, Beverly. Your dedication to giving back and empowering others is commendable. Um, what advice would you give to someone who may be facing similar challenges in their life?
The advice that I will give to them would be to breathe. A lot of times, no, for me, in situations, I didn't realize how much I was holding my breath and having my shoulders clenched up, and my jaws clenched, and making sure that we are taking care of ourselves. So one of the first things I would say is to check in with yourself and trust your gut, and know that you are worthy, you deserve the love from yourself first. Self-love is the highest love from God, and the God that's within us want it's so important for us to love ourselves. So I would say really tap into um those things that you love about yourself. I think that for me, it was the confidence and the courage was happening when I took a step and that was accomplished. So it was like, okay, okay, you clap a little clap, even if it is just something to say, I'm gonna wake up a little hour early, or I am gonna, read a book, or go for a walk, or stop cursing, or something. Just challenging yourself to achieve before we try to fix anyone else. It starts with self. So that's what I would say, is just loving on yourself is so important. And you teach other people how to treat you. One, by how you treat yourself, and also what you accept. So
Yeah.
we are teaching people how to treat us.
Yes, I love those wise words, Beverly. Thank you for sharing this incredible journey
Yes.
with us today. Your story of resilience and just having hope will undoubtedly inspire others. I know it will. And I want to thank our viewers who tuned in today for this uplifting episode of Your Faith Journeys. Remember, no matter what the challenges you face, there's always a path to a brighter future.
Mhm.
And with that, until next time, take care and God bless you.
We'd like to express our gratitude to our sponsors and donors for supporting the Faith Journey podcast. Thank you for tuning in. May you be blessed and continue to smile. Until we meet again.